I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
The same dismal thud played on the WNBA's soundtrack for weeks. While the league office sucked air and remained silent, Caitlin Clark was being hacked, bumped, hip-checked, and hammered. Online, fans roared. Studio shows moved on after gently coughing. The message was unambiguous. Take care of it on your own, novice. The mute button then abruptly broke. The biggest microphones in basketball history abruptly decided they had enough, not because the WNBA clamped down. LeBron, Luka, Steph, and more than 6 other NBA All-Stars. The praise was not authorized by PR. It was a cry of unadulterated annoyance heard across the basketball community. A series of raw call-outs that shook arenas from South Beach to Seattle. NBA players typically store their bouquets in their personal gardens. After a brief retweet tour, perhaps a soundbite from the locker room, we may resume our work. On live TV, Pascal Siakam cracked that code. Pose the most ambiguous query you can. Which hoops are now receiving the most love? Siakam dropped a bomb after swerving past dozens of NBA names. It's actually Kane Clark. She is surrounded by absurd affection. Give it time to breathe.
Oh man, Caitlin she's a beast, man. Like, and they love her. So I'll probably say Caitlin Clark. I love Tyrese, but she's another level in terms of just the love that she has.
In the W, he didn't compare her to rookies. He gave her the crown despite comparing her to his own all-star point guard teammate Tyrese Halliburton. That isn't charitable, that's the truth. Siakam has just stamped her passport, and Clark has demolished the invisible brick wall that formerly divided their league from the league. Headline quotes are not Obi Toppin's forte. His response is significant since the man's language is dunks rather than dissertations, just big-eyed admiration, without any polish or script. Yes, Caitlin is incredible. It's fantastic to have her courtside at our games. She cheers for us, and we do the same for her.
Yeah, Caitlin's amazing. Super amazing. Great player. Having her be courtside and watching our games is awesome. We see the excitement that she has on the sides, but just like she's doing that, we do the same. Like when they're playing, like it's so much. It's a joy to watch.
That is the epitome of satire. No women's basketball, no hierarchy, just hoopers identifying hoopers. You can tell that the culture has already changed beneath the hardwood when NBA players in the middle of the rotation say things like that. Halliburton has a front row seat to the circus that circles Clark because they are neighbors in Indianapolis. He witnesses the constant chirping, the camera flashes, the autograph vultures, and her composed demeanor throughout it all. Look. He informed reporters there's Caitlin, Joik, Steph, and Brown. She is among the top 5 most well-known athletes in the world.
She's, I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well.
He was telling the truth. ESPN, TikTok, airports, and morning shows. Select a screen to see her. The tell is Halliburton's empathy. Being the savior of an NBA franchise has put him under superstar pressure. Even yet, he believes she is. Toting the bulkier backpack, that viewpoint is more powerful than any highlight montage. Whole story ecosystems shift when LeBron talks. He had the option to provide a secure compliment. He chose to zoom out to the macro view instead. She is attracting attention. It was their first time flying in private. Enjoy that. In other words, Clark is doing more than just hooping. She is speeding up structural advancements that have been planned for 27 years.
Because everybody is looking for you to say anything, and they're gonna splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right.
LeBron has already seen the film. In 2003, he starred in that film. He is aware of what it's like to lead a whole sector into a more prosperous future. Additionally, his regards sounded protective, even personal. The subtext was audible: league. Don't mess this up. Keep your money safe. The response to the question of how a born shooter respects another sniper is straightforward. Tie him up. There has never been a logo 3 that Trae Young didn't enjoy. Even yet, he acknowledged that he would require more practice to face Clark in a public duel. The fact that they are the only two collegiate athletes to ever lead the country in assists and points ties them together forever.
You were hype about Steph and Sabrina. I know that you have spoken about Caitlin Clark. You're a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Oh, yeah.
She, of course, is an excellent shooter. Would you ever do like a Caitlin Trae three-point contest at All-Star?
Of course I would. I've gotten to talk to her too throughout her college years. We're the only two people that ever led college in points and assists. That's a crazy stat. I'd have to definitely practice a lot more than I have for these previous three-point competitions. Nah, I'd be ready for sure. I'd do it.
Young's lighthearted challenge wasn't amusing. It was a peer-level admission that Clark's swagger, release, and mechanics belonged on the same neon billboard as his. The sponsors are aware that viewers would die for that competition. George is one of the few celebrities who can zoom out without coming across like a lecturer. The highlight mania was broken by his perspective. Hear me out. Veterans worked out for years in deserted gyms. A rookie enters and takes over as the face. All of a sudden, some individuals will be offended by that. He wasn't making cheesy remarks.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by it.
He was describing how rapid change is infused with human backlash. He acknowledged Clark's quick ascent in 3 phrases and expressed sympathy for the trailblazers who created the road she is running on. His comment resonated among podcasts for a full news cycle because of its depth. A reporter threw a softball to Luka Doncic. Which female athlete is your favorite?
Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Buchers?
Well, she's okay. I didn't see her playing in the women's NBA.
Thus, Lucas didn't flinch. Clark, Caitlin, no hedges, no disclaimers. For Luka, whose own transformation from Euro Wonder Boy to NBA superstar changed the course of history. That word economy was crucial. He gave her the lowest possible grade. Impact on her career at the moment, and she nailed it. You frame it as a minimalistic compliment. Steph observed the hits to the body. Frame after frame, he examined her recording. After that, he threw caution to the wind.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Boom, completely blank from the guy who actually twisted the geometry of basketball. That sentence served as both a thesis and a threat.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And it hurt just confidence, obviously. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer. It's crazy though, just because her shot is like that. It's at that level. But if you really watch, like her floor game is as impressive. So it's kind of the total package.
He had a surgical breakdown after that. Identical showmanship, infinite range, and release speed. The uppercut followed. She is the whole thing. Keep in mind that Curry's compliments are serious. Declaring Clark a kindred spirit is nothing less of legacy anointment. since his seal made Jordan P. a millionaire and Klay Thompson a legend. When Jason Tatum dismissed the WNBA inquiry with a 7-syllable response, momentum halted. Wilson, Asia, and Defile.
Favorite WNBA player? Asia Wilson.
Although Ree is undoubtedly gifted, Katie's decision seems like a subway in human form considering Clark's record-breaking year. The tension Paul George hinted about is heightened by two powerful voices refusing to encourage her. The new order has not been welcomed by everyone. Ironically, that highlights Clark's disruptive ability even more than any flattering statement. The evidence is astounding when you step back from the talking head tornado. Even after the games were moved to NBA venues, they were sold out. TV ratings are 400% higher than they were the previous season. Nike can't keep Iowa gold on the shelf because merchandise is moving so quickly. Because the idea of a generational athlete standing in TSA lines was too ridiculous for 2025, charter planes were authorized in the middle of the season. The number of corporate sponsors is increasing. Indeed, the whiplash is felt by rival players. The curve is vertical rather than sharp. Neutrality is never the result of greatness. It divides spaces into disobedience and devotion, asked Prime. LeBron, Tiger, Jordan, or Serena. For years, the WNBA has pleaded for immediate action. Clark served it on a tray after dropping the door. The same concept was demonstrated by each cheer and every cheap shot. The days of indifference are over. The league has control over income sharing, marketing, and officiating. It is unable to create passion. It was created by Clark overnight. This is when it becomes tricky. A rookie who is elevated into cultural orbit runs the risk of becoming both a lightning rod and a beacon. The league has to make money without consuming its own resources. Preserve Clark's health, honor the veterans who cleared the path, and convey a variety of stories. This entails speedier whistle reviews and a marketing expenditure that isn't solely focused on a single zip code. Charter flights are available for all teams, not only the Clark Caravan as well. LeBron James taught the NBA this lesson in 2011. The W has real-time access to that playbook. Although Steph's comments are complimentary, Clark's ceiling is not. Supposed to be the female equivalent of Steph, the goal is to become the first Caitlin Clark, a cross between Mam's cultural spark, Curry's shooting gravity, and Magic's help flair. It is not possible to borrow that alchemy. It must be created in the moment, under more scrutiny than her forebears ever experienced. NBA players are aware of that. No one can ignore it, even though some people celebrate and others get angry. That is how sneakers have evolved. Pascal confessed his love, Obi experienced the delight. Tyrese recognized the human side. LeBron praised the change. The smoke was supplied by Trey. The resume was approved by Luka. Steph used neon paint to draw the line. Indeed, Tatum avoided it. KD counter-programmed, reminding us that resistance is a necessary component of revolutions. When you add it all up, one thing becomes clear. Caitlin Clark is more than just a WNBA player. Its gravitational center is being adjusted by her. The quiet has ended. There is pressure. Additionally, a 23-year-old with a 38-second release suddenly controls the league's destiny. You desired a spark, you have a wildfire. One so dazzling even the NBA can't look away.